What's going on, guys? It's Waco here in Watches and Wonders. It's day one. I'm here with Antoine Pin, CEO of Tag Heuer, and he is a man seriously designed to win. I want to talk a little bit about that mentality, but let's kind of maybe describe an incident from, and everyone who's seen Drive to Survive will remember this, was in the most recent season, the last year's F1 series, and Verstappen was really under threat from Lando Norris, right? So we cut to Sao Paulo, and it's raining like crazy. And one by one, all the drivers take their foot off the gas. Lando Norris even decides to box. I'm not making this up. You can just go and watch this. Kind of causing himself to lose the championship. And there's one guy who puts his foot down, and it's Max Verstappen. And I was like, this is incredible. And for you to be reconnected to F1, for you to be the ultimate precision timekeeper, to tell the moment between victory and defeat, there's no better place for Tag Heuer. Talk to me about that, bro.
That, absolutely. You know, this is exactly the moment we want to talk about, those moments of truth, when you believe that whatever happens, you are here to win. And it's really about the fight within your own brain, where a part of your brain tells, you have to slow down, otherwise you're going to die. Clearly you're going to go through and it's over. So slow down, be rational. And the other side of your brain, the other part, say, no, you're an animal. You are an animal. You can see through the rain. And that's what those guys manage to do.
Right.
They follow their instinct, their animal instinct, and there's this battle within the brain. And
Yes.
we call it inner strength. We used to call it don't crack under pressure. And it's all about the same story, that there is something inside you that makes you do this extra mile, that is making you be bigger than anything else. And that's what's happening but funnily enough, with Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
But Ayrton Senna
But yes.
went through this in Japan, in
Absolutely.
Suzuka, under the rain,
Yes.
the disaster,
Yes.
and it goes on and on.
Yes.
And the same with Lewis Hamilton. Those guys were all world champions. They were all managing to see through the rain when everybody would slow down.
Absolutely. You know, I think it's so extraordinary as an example of what goes into a victory. It's interesting because we were trying to do an analysis of this, and it's like, what made him put his foot down? It was clearly that his desire, his need to achieve immortality was greater than his fear of death. And I think that is exceptional,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
And so now that you're reconnected to F1 as the official timekeeper, as the brand that tells the difference between victory, immortality, or defeat, how do you express that transversely through a different range of watches? Maybe we can start with the Formula One.
Well, that's the obvious side. Of course, this watch was born when we became, almost a bit before we became the timekeeper. We were at the time partner of McLaren, and now we have redesigned it. We kept the spirit of the watch. We kept the joyfulness. We get the daringness of the colors. I mean, again, think of Formula One. It's a living circus full of joy, of excitement. And we kept this. Now, what we've changed is we've really emphasized the very specific design of the case with the nose that refers to the nose of the car itself. We are bringing back the bezel, but we changed the movement. Now we are bringing we are featuring the solargraph caliber. So
Fantastic.
15 years without any service, 50 years without changing the battery because it's a solar battery. So basically, we designed the watch internally. So it's clearly the same spirit, except it's 40 years afterwards when we have become a manufacturer in between, a fully integrated manufacturer. We've worked those calibers, we've worked those dimensions, and here we go with this beautiful watch that again brings the fun of life back to your wrists.
It's so nice to have this from a person that's a little bit older. Fine, I'm really old, okay? But I remember this watch the first time around.
That's okay.
And it
Happens
really
to me as well.
reconnects. And there's so many people who have this as their first series watch as well. Now, you're present at every single race, right? Is there a possibility that you might begin to create race-specific watches?
Well, actually, some of those colors will not be on shelf because they'll be just popping out in association with some races.
Nice.
So, some of those products will be produced in limited editions, in a limited quantity, just because we believe that if we want to keep the boldness of the pieces, the play with the colors, there'll be so many different variations. We want to give ourselves the possibility to work on few references that are on shelf forever, but then to bring in new colors all the time.
Right.
And of course, we'll connect to the races to bring new colors, new variations. It's basically limitless as long as we decide that we want to be limitless in terms of variations. And the beauty of this is, it's when we say we are pushing our own limits, we are actually working on new materials that will go also
Oh wow.
on the watch. Yeah, of course.
That's
of course.
cool.
I mean,
That's really
you
cool.
can't just say
Yeah.
design to win and we don't want to push ourselves to be better, you know?
Right.
So the watch will be, hopefully, in a couple of years, we'll bring with different materials, different structures, still playing with the diversity and the versatility of the model, because that's what it's always been about. So bear with us. There'll be, even if you miss one of the colors, there'll be others, there'll be other opportunities.
Of course. Well, in your current lineup, if we're talking about the ultimate precision timekeeper, there was one watch, the split-second chronograph,
Yeah.
the rattrapant,
Yeah.
which is really the best expression or the greatest embodiment of that.
Yeah.
And you've got a version of that underneath,
Yes.
hidden under this cloth right now, in a very cool colorway with a really cool material.
Yes,
Talk to
this
us
is a
about
very
that.
special watch. You know, it happens sometimes that people tell us, "Oh, you're cool because you're in this price category," or "Why are you going in another price category?" I believe we are an amazing master of chronographs, and there is no price limit as long as the product is worth it. But there is no price limit in either direction. Okay, you can be expensive, you can be cheap. It all depends on what you're offering. We are here with this split-second Monaco limited edition. It's only 10 pieces. It's made to celebrate the 75th anniversary of the Formula One Championship.
Mm-hmm.
And we really wanted to design the piece and somewhat bring the inspiration of the track, really in the insider's track. So we've partnered with some of the people who really make the race, and we've built the reputation of Formula One over time. It's particularly the speaker. The speaker is of Formula One has this famous sentence, which is "lights out and away we
Oh,
go."
that's cool.
When you are actually doing the formation lap, and so it's here hidden on the dial, on the counters of the watch. We've got the markers, the yellow markers, to position the car as well. So basically, the idea was really to identify those very details that have built the legend of Formula One over time, over those 75 years of history, that we've put into this beautiful watch. So again, another connection to Formula One, totally different from the collection Formula One. It's the Monaco, so it's still the legendary track of Formula One. So it's really the year when we are celebrating our connection to motor racing more than ever.
Absolutely. You know, when a new team manager takes over an F1 team, the first one he thinks about is the human equity he has there.
Yeah.
A lot of times, who are my drivers, for example? Who's my team? And you have a person on your team that's kind of an incredible secret weapon. That is a lady named Carol Forestier,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And you know, in the past at Tag Heuer, you guys created these watches that made people dream, right? These watches that were just extraordinary in terms of technical innovation. The V4, for example, the micro girder, the micro timer, the micro tourbillon. Watches that were very precision-based, focused, but also just extraordinary innovations. With Carol Forestier, would it be possible to reconnect the brand with this direction?
I will answer to your question with a question.
Yes.
With Carol Forestier in the team, is it possible not to do this? Obviously, I mean, this is, and particularly when we are thinking, where we're talking about this campaign, the
Right.
reason why this campaign is so important, because it sets the tone of what we want to be. We are partnering with all those races, those extraordinary moments of truth, of revelation, of grace, whatever they call them. And time is making the difference. We were with Carl Lewis, and he said, 1/10 of a second made me famous. Can you imagine? With or without this 1/10 of a second, I didn't have the same life. And I think this is what we've learned, and what we've learned, that those people, those extraordinary legends of the tracks, whichever, but it can be also legends of different fields, they are making the difference in very special moments because of the hard work they made before. And it's clearly an encouragement to our teams to push our own limits. And it's about pushing our own limits in terms of innovation. I mean, we are technique d'avant-garde.
Yes.
So it's about putting the foot where no one's been.
Absolutely.
So clearly when I told Carol, oh my, no, the door's open, go.
Yes.
Go. It's time to really show
Yes.
what we're made of as well.
Yes.
And so we want to prove to those athletes that we've been inspired, but we can also inspire them in the future.
Absolutely. You had a really cool keynote earlier, and incidentally, I love the new motto, Design to Win. So on the
Thank
keynote,
you.
you had Carl Lewis, you had Mika Hakkinen,
Yeah.
and you had the Olympic
Summer
swimmers.
McIntosh.
And it was very interesting because what they were talking about was all the preparation was done before, but the moment of victory is primarily mental.
Yeah.
It's mental strength. And you know, we all face this as you can get discouraged, you can be your own enemy, right? And what was the takeaway from that, and how do you feel as if those ambassadors embody TAG?
The funny, the thing is, there is, so Carl is more than 60, Mika is in his 50s, Summer is less than 20 years old. You've got a woman, you've got a woman in swimming, a man in track and field, a driver. And they are exactly the same attitude towards victory and winning. For example, something that is amazing, they say, you're performing, you're relaxed. You're prepared, you're ready, you're showing what you can do. You know of the others, you're aware of them because you're aware you need to be faster than them, but they don't. This awareness is not to the detriment of your performance. You're stronger than them. You know you're stronger. It's amazing the willingness, the mental strength that is in their eyes, and they all share the same feeling. It's very universal. That's where I believe the message of time is actually very universal. It happens. Anyone is designed to win when they find the strength, the mental strength to be stronger in their own performances. And they really showed this. They showed how they overcame challenges, how their mental strength was stronger than the challenges. All of them have gone through injuries, accidents, defeat, and they hate it. And they hate it. And sometimes they hate the opponents as well. But they're stronger even than their hatred.
Yes.
The hatred doesn't interfere with their performance. Yes. It's just a way for them to perform better.
Absolutely.
And
it's
I think
motivation.
It's motivational.
Yeah, exactly.
And actually, in reality, they know that they're building their own history thanks to their opponents.
Yes, and you're not even really competing with your opponent, you're competing with yourself ultimately.
It's
and
yourself.
That's the thing,
Exactly.
Right? Okay.
Exactly.
Shifting back to watches, tell me a little bit about the career that we have in this.
Well, that's a beautiful. There's everything in this watch. There's the technique. There's the new caliber, TH31. It's a manufactured caliber designed with AMT, so it's 80 hours power reserve, 5 years warranty, meaning really the standard of what any luxury watch manufacturer should do. Precision-wise, design-wise, it's amazing. But we wanted to bring the spirit, or the design to win spirit, to the watch as well. You have to know that in the early 70s, Tag Heuer was offering this watch, the gold version of the Carrera at the time, and he called it the success watch.
Yeah.
And why does he call it the success watch? It still calls it like this. It's because in 1972, if I remember, Ferrari was really nowhere in the competition.
Yeah.
So Enzo Ferrari decides to fire everybody, recruits all the new team of drivers, and Jack offers the watch, gold and Carrera, to the drivers. At the end of the season, they are world champions. So right after, some drivers came and asked for the token of luck,
right.
The success watch, the Carrera. So in memory of this, we've actually engraved, and we will from now on engrave on all Carreras, this crown of laurel that used to be the reward of all the Formula One drivers when they were winning a Grand Prix.
Right.
It will be hidden somewhere as a token of luck for anyone wearing the watch. So it's not just the body, it's also the soul that we want to bring to those watches. They're here to remind you that you're designed to win, but also to make you feel that they bring you luck when you are actually facing the challenges and you're getting there.
Last question for you. You mentioned material innovation. A lot of people innovate in material in terms of cases. You certainly have with the white ceramic watch, but you are exceptional. I think you're the only brand I can think of that has used carbon fiber for a hairspring material in the past. Will we ever see the emergence of this potentially in the future, and what can it bring from a performance perspective?
Why are you asking these kinds of questions?
Sorry.
So I'm answering with a question.
I'm curious.
There are chances that we may come with something, absolutely. the beauty of carbon for air spring is the fact that you actually can reach performances that are the level of silicium, if not better.
Wow.
So this is a very interesting field of research, and particularly because yes, we're the only one to work on it.
Yes.
And it's there's a lot of work in progress. There's been a lot of work over the last 10 years around this project, and we're moving on. We're moving on, so bear with us.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your generosity with your time, with your sharing of information, and it's great to see you. I love the incredible singularity of Tag Heuer now as the official timekeeper of F1, and I know it's going to bring you to some really remarkable innovations. So thank you. Cheers.
Thank you.
Take care, buddy.
It's coming.
Peace.